in the beginning, it's difficult to have the courage to dress in feminine garments. After all, I dressed as a guy for well over 60 years, exclusively. So I decided to try wearing lipstick, and I found it very efficient at persuading people that I was female. And I was very pleasantly surprised that men older than me were jumping to open the door for me. Every time someone called me ma'am or opened the door, I felt a sense of pride and accomplishment and progress. Until now, I don't dress as a man, as I mentioned last night. When I do, and I very, very, very occasionally, I do dress as a man for a job interview only, I get a little touch of nervousness, sadness from dressing as a man. So I think I am now happily acclimated to being female. I had never been as much exposed as dressed as a female as I was on the trip to India. Every airplane I was on was full of people. Every airport I was in had a lot of people. No one gave any impression that they thought anything other than what I was, presenting myself as a female. I was wearing lipstick when I started the trip, but the lipstick had worn off by the end of the trip. And still, I was being shown the respect of a lady. And that's something I want to be a lady. I don't want to be trampish. I will never wear high heel shoes for two reasons. One, my mother would never wear, and two, my ankles are not strong, and I'm afraid of hurting my ankles trying to wear high heel shoes. And I will never wear fishnet stockings. They are suggestive of a trampish kind of person, and I don't want to be. So I'm very happy. I made progress to the point that I would be very shocked and disappointed if someone approached me and accused me of being a man. And I don't feel like a man. I'm losing it right now because of one person. And she started a company called JaneMED Surgical. And she told me I had to stop taking my hormones. And now I'm getting to be a grumpy old guy again. And it's all her fault. And I hope that she will stop torturing me and let me take my hormones again. I am happy. I'm who I want to be for the rest of my life. I can only hope that I will have more life to enjoy, because I am right now enjoying myself very much. I am sure that there are people who would be negative about what I'm doing, and that's their privilege. We all have the same privilege.
Right.
And they aren't living in my shoes, so they aren't going to determine who I am and who I want to appear to be whether I am in my heart or not. And trust me, I am. And that I had requested from Delta wheelchair assistance. So they gave me a wheelchair and a pusher. And we walked a long way. I would not have made it if not for the wheelchair. It was too far. I would have had to stop several times to take a break. And I gave him the $1. But I felt he was worth more for the assistance he provided. And we got the luggage, we got out, and JaneMED Surgical showed up and loaded me into a car and took me away. The airport was nice and clean. It looked relatively new. It was well appointed. I loved the wooden walls. And it reminded me in some ways of the airport in Korea, because when we stepped out of the building, there were thousands of people looking for people. I learned a valuable lesson on this trip. Anytime I travel from now, I am going to make sure that I request wheelchair assistance. It's embarrassing to me. I don't want to admit that I need it, and maybe I don't need it, but I need the knowledge and expertise that the wheelchair pusher has to help negotiate all of the turns and twists and paperwork problems at the airport. After an amazing drive where I thought I was going to die 20 times because I had to get accustomed to sitting on the left side and watching the cars come at me on the right side, which is the wrong side where I come from. We arrived to a nice condominium building. It has it has granite floors, not granite, but some sort of stone. It's very nice stone. I'm sharing one of the bedrooms with my host and hostess, and it's well appointed. One mistake I made last night, I was very tired, and rather than look for or go figure out how or why there was no hot water, I just took a cold water shower. And actually, it was the best thing I could have done, because it helped me to relax tremendously. And after that shower, I was able to sleep the night through away without waking up. It's a nice, neat place to be. It has air conditioning. If we're not using the air conditioning now. And it's not terribly humid or hot, so maybe we don't need air conditioning. If I were at my home, the air conditioning system is running 24 hours a day. Not necessarily running, but it's turned on to operate. I set the temperature and I let the machine take care of itself until I get around to changing the air filter. I brought a lot of stuff with me, a lot of which probably I should have left at home, but the first time you go somewhere, you go fully prepared. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Well, I got it. I don't even have really room to store all the stuff if I take it out of the suitcase. So, yep, it stays in the suitcase. It's quiet, it's clean. There was a maid here this morning to clean up. Lunch was delivered, and my host and hostess were pleased that I did eat some of the meal. It was hot, but I have eaten hot food in my life, so it's not terribly unaccustomed. Actually, it tasted pretty good. And, well, that's about it.
JaneMED Surgical India. Complete transition services in one place. Book your appointment now.